And good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. How are you? Welcome to Thursday. Hey, B. Hey, AB. Hi, Jerry. How are you? Let me turn this around so people on. There you go. Good morning. Good morning. Good to see you. Good to see everybody on Facebook Live and also on YouTube as well. Hi, Monique. Good to see you. Glad everybody is here. There you are. Yes. Makes all the difference when you flip it around and you can actually see somebody, doesn't it? It's amazing how that works. Good morning, Michael. How are you? How is Michelle? How are you? Good to see you. Let me. Here we go. Good morning, Facebook Live, everybody. I'm as usual. I'm on YouTube Live as well. I know sometimes they don't get the signal for a while. Follow. Okay. All right. So, how is everybody? How are you doing? Hi, John. How are you? How are you? How are you? Please swipe and invite those people that are in Periscope. Hi, Fendi. Word Smitter. I like that. I like word smither even better, right? Good to see everybody, Jackie. How are you? Nunez, yes. Yes, yes. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. Hi, Mike. Good morning. How are you? Here for the facts and the hair. There you go. Everybody has to has something, right? So that's what you have. So I hope everybody on YouTube got their notifications this morning. It would be nice if they continued to do that. And everybody just swipe and invite if you will, please. Good morning, Heather. Good morning. Good morning. How is everybody? Anybody that's on YouTube, if you could maybe tweet this out, let people know that we are on YouTube Live and waiting for them to get here. Hi, Edward. Nice to see you. Glad that you could be here, that you could join us. And how is everybody on this Thursday? It's I can't believe it's this late in the week. It seems earlier in the week, and there's so much going on. So we have a lot to talk about. Yeah, Gorsuch, that's going to continue to always be an issue that they're not going to want to vote for him and vote him in. So that is something that we're going to have to take care of because it's not going to happen without us, I think. They're being children. Hi, Kimberly, good to see you. Never a dull moment. Yes, absolutely. Um, and you know this is nothing that we didn't expect. And as Mitch McConnell came out today and said, this has never happened. We've never had a filibuster for a Supreme Court justice. Yeah. And why is that? Dirty politics. There you go, Jerry. Absolutely. Hi, Wendell. Good to see you. Anybody who is in Facebook Live, if you could just share this with people. Anybody who has joined us in YouTube, please share and invite other people and swipe and invite on Periscope. So let's talk about some of the things that are happening this morning. As quite a few of you have probably already heard, um, Devin Nunes has stepped down. Now, I don't know if that came as a result of the left just pushing hard to get him to step down, and they thought that maybe that was the best thing for them to do. And that's why. Hi, Carmen. Good to see you. And he just decided to go ahead and step down because it was always going to be an issue. The other part of me likes to think that maybe he stepped down because he knew that would be a reason to get Trey Gowdy on board. Trey Gowdy is going to be the one who is handling everything. He and another person. I didn't even look to see who the other person was. I can't remember the name because it wasn't important. When I saw Trey Gowdy, I said, yes, this is great news. That's all I needed to see. Good morning from Vancouver. Hi, Michelle. Good to see you. Do you go by Michelle Ann or just Michelle? But welcome to YouTube. I do hope that we see Gowdy doing his best. I also hope that we see a little bit more involvement with Gowdy. Okay, Michelle, thank you. I'll remember that. I want to see, as we had Trey Gowdy with Benghazi, we didn't really go far enough. We just kind of stopped, and that was the end of it. I would like to see this go all the way to probably, hi, Cherry, to a independent investigation or better still, a grand jury. you know, uh, yeah, a lot of people think that Gowdy failed in Benghazi, but did he fail, or was it because that we had a President Obama at the time, and there really wasn't very much that we were going to be able to do? Yeah, as you recall, the Republicans at that time and were carrying the water for the president. So we weren't exactly going to get anywhere in that regard. So I think now that we are a full Republican House, Senate, President, we may get a little bit further. So let's hope so. Yes, and we couldn't get the information from the deep state. I mean, how much information has been hidden all along? How much information was hidden for 8 years that we never saw? How much information is still hidden that we're not seeing? Tons of it. So, it's going to take a while to see what he's going to do. Why Obama has so much power, Trump hands are tied. Um, Obama has so much power because there are still leftovers from the Obama administration that are still in the Trump administration. Yeah, when God is on your side, you are a majority. That's absolutely right. I don't know if Nunez was unmasked, if that's what you're asking. I doubt that. But, again, what we're not talking about is how many. Hi, Huey. Good morning. How many people, in just like you and me, have been listened to by the FBI, the CIA, and part of the NSA that that we were caught up in incidental communications. I'm saying myself, I think there's more than just incidental communications. Yeah, it could be Big Ralph that Nunez was listened to. I mean, who wasn't? I mean, that I think it'd be more accurate to say who wasn't listened to and why were they listened. And we need to get to the bottom of that. Not only do we need to look at what happened with Russia and what's being talked about with Russia and the interference with the election, but we need to talk about what Susan Rice did. We need to bring Susan Rice into an investigation and find out what went on there and see if there's anything that we could do to finally bring these people to justice. We haven't done that in so long, and we continue not to bring people to justice. We've got to stop doing that. And I've said that time and time again, that we need to go and we need to investigate the Clintons for the Clinton Foundation and on and on. Yeah, I think, good morning, mighty blessed one. I do think that, here's what I've noticed. I've noticed this on press conferences. I've noticed this when I've been on, let's say, Facebook, and Facebook is having something uh, that, some live event with the president. I've noticed that the people in the the live events, the comments are not as favorable. I have to be honest with you. There aren't as many Trump people there. I don't know what that means. I don't know if everybody thinks, well, Trump can handle it and we can just back away. But I tell you, they're getting creamed in a lot of these. I would not scopes, but the Facebook programs that I'm watching, they really are getting absolutely creamed, and they've got to do something about that. So. Again, I'm seeing the Trump supporters not as active as they were. And so, we're growing silent again. Yeah, they're afraid to be in vocal support of Trump. And again, this is what happens with the right. This is why we don't fare well. We're always afraid to speak up. We're always afraid to do what it is that we need to do. We don't do it. People are lazy. Yes, Mike is saying people are lazy, and they are. Hi, Gammy7. How are you, Gammy, Kimberly? And so we are seeing that impact. People got really motivated. They wanted Trump in office. They were all excited. They went out there. They started protesting and being there for the Trump support groups. And I'm not seeing that anymore. And that, to me, I don't like seeing that. We can't walk away and not be supportive. You don't think there are bots by Obama. Yeah, I do, Carmen. I know that that there are. There has to be. I mean, they're training these agitators. They're not training them to sit by and do nothing. So it's very likely that they're on social media, on Twitter, on Facebook, and any other social media platform they could be on, because that's what they want to do. But again, the size put you in a separate group. Oh God, the size of the group that I'm seeing is dwindling as far as the Trump supporters. Why isn't Trump banning and blocking trolls? I don't know. Why isn't that happening? I think a great many of Trump's supporters are at work. Yes, maybe not even paying attention now that he's in office. I agree with you, Heather, and I think that. Hi, LA child. Good morning. No hype Thursday. You got it. But I think we have got to get back and start doing things again. Hi, Bob. In support of this president. We also, how many people lately have tweeted him? I've been guilty of not tweeting him. Um, Not good, because that's how he gets his information. I don't know if he's reading our tweets. I really don't know. I hope that he still is. I hope that he is still involved. Hi, Puzzles, how are you? With the public, and wants to know what we're thinking. So, the media is doing the same thing it's always done under Obama. It continues to go against Trump any way that they can. They're always speaking out against Trump, and that is always going to be the case. I mean, the best thing that we can do is, when media is involved, is to stop watching CNN, stop watching MSNBC. If you're still watching those things, stop going there. Stop listening to what they have to say, because they're not giving you the truth. They really aren't. They're giving you what they want you to hear, which is their bias. That's all you're getting. So, there you go. And if you will, on Periscope, if you will swipe and invite, and if you want to come over to YouTube Live, you're certainly welcome. Just go to Susan Knowles, and you could subscribe there and click on the little bell. And that means every time I come on that you will get a notification. So, I think it's we need to know the lies to fight them. Yeah, Truth TV News, that whenever you hear words coming out of those on the left, they're lies. So there's really not too much to discern and check out. We already know that. My lib crowd says no one wants to work for Trump and say this is proof. Wow. Fox is not all that. Fox is not all that they are libs. Fox is really turned into a very liberal type news station. I don't know if that's because of everything that's happened there, Roger Ailes leaving or being forced to leave, and other kind of turnovers there, that they really have gotten to be a very left-leaning organization. Hi, good morning. How are you? Girl for good. Way to go. If you could swipe and invite everybody on Periscope, that would be great. So, as far as Nunez is concerned, let's just wait and see how that goes and see if it's a good thing. I think it is a positive thing. I wish, though, we would stop surrendering to the left every time that they have an issue. If this were Schiff that had done that, we'd ask Schiff to step down. Schiff would not have stepped down, in my opinion. And so we continue to give the left exactly what they want. Someday, maybe, we will learn not to do that. I have my doubts, because we've been doing this for a very long time. We feel that if we don't do something like step down, hi, Amy, good to see you, that we're going to be blamed, we're going to look bad. Hi, Jeremy, good morning. But the truth of the matter is, we're going to look bad to them no matter what. We have to quit placating the left. LA Child, they are just babies. They can't suck it up. Yeah, for 8 years. I know. They are babies. They keep acting like babies, and we keep giving in to the demands of the babies. Good morning, Amy. So we need to look at that. We need to decide why do we continue to do that? When do we stop placating the left? And so we're teaching them, as Dr. Phil always says, you teach people how to treat you. And that's exactly what we've done. We've taught the left that if they just come at us long enough, we will fold. They know that. So draw the line. Yeah. Jerry, draw the line. But as we draw the line, make sure we don't let them go past that line and keep moving the line. Because I think that a lot of times with the Republicans, we keep moving that line. And you don't want to do that. You just like with children. I hate to compare adults to children, but you have to know that you can't keep moving the line when children are involved because it only makes their behavior worse. They understand that if they just keep coming at you, you're going to give in. Same thing with the those on the left. That's exactly what we have already shown them that we do. So at some point we need to give that up. Now, I know yesterday's story was a lot of hype on Bannon and a lot that was going on. I was watching a lot of times, I think in dismay, when I was going into some periscopes, that people were just seemingly losing it sometimes in periscopes, or some people would come into one periscope, go over to the next one, and sort of change the story just a little bit as if it were their story and make it their own. And it's probably one of the reasons I put, this is no hype day on Thursday. Just the truth. Jeremy says the red line, the Republicans are a fractured party, and the Democrats are not real Democrats. McCain is more of a Democrat than a Republican. Yes. Yes. And all of that goes into, hi, Storm Gal, goes into why things happen uh, that are happening right now. Yeah, what's the real deal? So, okay, getting back to Bannon. Now, some people that are closer. Hi, Helen. Good morning. Hi, clean something. Some people that are closer to Bannon than I've never met Bannon, so I don't have a personal relationship with him. I don't know things about him that I can make suppositions about because that I've met him. What I will say is I want to tell you what's coming out there in the news. And so you can kind of make your own assessment. And I always encourage you to kind of gather different sources and then make your own evaluation of what is going on. You don't want to just go and rely on somebody's opinion about, well, this is what it is, and there you go, or some hype that gets you all upset because this person just keeps saying it as if they have some inside knowledge. The people who know are people like Bannon. He knows what the real truth is. Now, Bannon has said there are people who said, well, Bannon threatened to quit. According to Bannon, he did not threaten to quit. So I'm going to take his word for it. This is what came out in the media. And unless they're spinning it, and I don't think that you would take somebody's exact words and change them, and that would indeed come back to haunt you, and that's provable. But he said he did not threaten to quit. Now, maybe that's just him saving face. I don't know. But again, those are his words, not mine, not anybody else's words. Some other people said, he did threaten to quit. And then there's been talk about the two Goldman Sachs people, Dina Powell and Gary Cohn, 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 however you want to pronounce it. Uh, my thoughts about that are: do you realize that a lot of people on the Trump administration, on his team, do you realize that many of them are globalists? I mean, this was what on when Donald Trump was getting into office. This was the big deal. This is what everybody was warning about. This is what everybody was talking about. People who weren't necessarily on board with Trump were people that were saying, hey, look, we have a problem here. You're putting a lot of globalists on your team. And everybody at the time was saying, hey, no big deal. And in fact, Trump has said, I want to have these people on my team because how do you get rid of and break up what's been going on in the good old boys network and the way the politics has been running all this time if you don't have the people who already understand it. And so that's why he was saying at the time that he needed these people on his team, these people with ton of experience, these people who are globalists. And I'm assuming that Donald Trump knows that they are globalists. Now, the ones I know that are not globalists that I've been told, I've been watching in the news, Jared Kushner is supposedly not a globalist. Ivanka Trump, Steve Bannon, and Michael Flynn. Now, I'm sure there are some others, but those are the ones that I know of, and I've been watching the news. And as I said yesterday, McMaster is a globalist. He's, hi Lisa, good morning. But he's added to the number of globalists that are already in position. So, if you if you're going to talk about globalists, you got to talk about the whole thing. Also, I this broke yesterday as far as people that were talking about this, but in fact, the story about Bannon and the story about Gary Cohn, I'll just say Cohn or Cohen, and Dina Powell has been out since March. This was something that was in the Daily Mail. So it's been out there. It hasn't been talked about, but it's been out there. Good morning, Mark. Good to see you. Good to see you, Carrie Ann. Good to see you. Good morning. So why yesterday did this story break and everybody kind of went berserk? I mean, you could see on all of the periscopes all of this happening. I don't know why yesterday they chose to do this. I really don't know. But again, this has been out. This has been something that Steve Bannon. Hi, Monique. Good to see you. That Steve Bannon has been fighting with and talking about since probably he came into the on the transition team. Let's see. We want fair global trade, but we do not want to relinquish our sovereignty. That's true. So, again, to take away focus on Susan Rice, it could be. It could very well be, Jerry. I don't know. Maybe that's what they were doing. Good morning, Robin. And they were hoping that this story would break and everybody would get all excited, which everybody apparently did get all excited about it, and decided that, it was all over for Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon was going to quit. You know, as I said yesterday, uh, there are people that if you're not going to have an office where you have two CEOs, you're not going to have two people at the top. Somebody has to go. And if I were McMaster, if I were hired for that job, then I would say, hey, look, I'm the guy that you hired. Yeah, Cone. There you go. LA child, I know, Cone. Um, I would say, you need to move out of the way, Steve, because they hired me. And I want to be in charge of this. I mean, I think anybody in that position would have said the same thing. So, you have to ask yourself, is this all hype? Is everybody just hyping this story because they can? Is there anything to it? I don't know. Is he going to get rid of Steve Bannon? Is Steve Bannon going to quit? I don't know. And I know that a lot of people are concerned that, if Steve quits, there goes the populist nationalist point of view. And I get that. But, what are you going to do about it? I know it's been suggested, well, get on the phone and call the White House all day long. Okay, if that's what you want to do. I mean, I think that if you call the White House and say, President Trump, there are a lot of globalists on your team, he's going to say, yeah, and? I mean, so I don't necessarily. Good morning, Libby. Hi, Crystal. How are you? I don't think that's the answer. I think you could call and say, President Trump, don't forget who we are. Don't forget our movement. Don't forget why you got elected. We're concerned about Steve Bannon. We're concerned that you may ask him to step down or he may leave. I mean, if that's your concern and that's what you want to do and you want to call Washington, D.C., I think that's more of what you should call Washington, D.C. and say if you're going to do that. President Trump has pretty much worked a lot of things out. And I think a lot of people have thought, oh, well, he's not going to get this straight. He's being fooled. He's being tricked. I don't know. I mean, in a lot of, I saw a comment saying Jared is a mole. Jared is married to the president's daughter. The president's daughter is 100% on board with President Trump. And I can't see Ivanka allowing someone, even her own husband, to go against her father. It's not going to happen. Got distracted. Good you're here, Weaponized Truth. Good that you're here. Thanks for coming. So, I think that, okay, Truth, you said that a couple of times, so you could quit saying that Jared is a mole. We get it. We get it. So please stop saying that over and over. But I think there's always going to be like this little conflict between, the globalists that are there. And I've read before that what Trump likes to do, he likes to bring people in who are all alphas. And they all do this all the time. And a lot of times when you bring in really intelligent, highly skilled individuals, this is the kind of thing that you're going to get. Everybody has an ego, everybody wants to be at the top, and they're going to be scrambling back and forth. That happens. That's why, people are, she's blinded by love. I don't, you know what? I don't, Crystal, I don't see Ivanka. I see Ivanka with a very level head. And I think if it came down to it, and it was something between Jared and her father, I think she's going to protect her father. I really do. I don't think that she would let even her husband come in between her and her father. And I think that's one of the reasons that no, I don't think Ivanka is blinded by her husband. Truth. Um, I think that truth or people recruiting themselves. Yeah, I know. I think that we have to give her a little bit more credit in that, and I think that's one of the reasons that he wanted her in the White House. He depends upon what she's thinking. He trusts her, and I think so far she's never let him down. I don't think Trump is a globalist. He is for America. Yeah, Libby, as far as I know, Trump is not a globalist, and he is for America. And I think that we have to also remember that. And I think, Trump is very smart. I mean, he's the president of the United States. I mean, regardless of what you think about him or anybody else, I mean, you can't be an idiot and be the top person in the world. Even Obama, you have to give him a little credit for getting there. Yeah, I know she converted her religion, but that doesn't mean she converted her ideology because of Kushner. I mean, I haven't seen any proof of that. Nobody's protecting Jared. Truth. We're just trying to get to the truth and not just sort of, getting in all the hype and just trying to make things up. You have to look at things. You have to look at facts. Yeah, I don't believe it either, Kimberly. And I think that, if you look at factual information, then you'll know whether or not you put it all together and see. I mean, let's look at it. What can we say factually that Ivanka has done that has hurt her father even in business or in the White House? I don't see any proof of any of that. None of it. And just saying anything is not going to be, what I'm sorry, I had to block him because he's been going off, all morning. So I know he was starting to get to people, and I don't mind people saying things, but when you're saying things over and over and over and over again just to get a name for yourself, you got to have something to back it up. If you think Kushner is scary, wait until 2020 and Chelsea Clinton runs. She is married to George Soros' nephew. Yeah, I mean, nothing. I don't know if anything could get more scary than that. And I'm just saying, I don't know. I don't know Jared's motives. I don't know whether or not Ivanka will fail, her father. I don't know all of those. Neither does anyone else. What I'm saying is that what we're seeing so far factually, nothing has been proven to make it look like that she is going to go against her father or that Jared is doing something against against the Trump family. Maybe it'll all come out somewhere down the line. I don't know. But we have to have factual information. If you don't have factual information and you just start spouting things off like the person that was in Periscope, that's what's called fake news. That's why everybody in media right now gets a bad name because there are no facts to back it up. Now I do have some concerns. Yeah, we do need to have a little faith there, Susan. I agree with that. But I think also we need to, I was going to say my concern is a little bit that Jared is having too many roles in the White House. Okay, I get that. But that doesn't mean we don't have to pounce on that like the left and say, oh my gosh, that's something really horrible. I know she was married to Soros. Yeah, yeah. Uh, so I think we have to wait and see. And a lot of it, is Jared, does he really have all those roles and he's taking everybody else's position? Or hi Johnny, good morning. Or is he going out there like somebody would for their father-in-law and in the position he's in to kind of look at things and to see what's going on, to make sure that things are going well, that things are going right. And I think that's what we have to remember as well. We don't want to just jump to the conclusion this is what it is. So I mean, again, that's what the left does. So I just want to caution you about that. And you can say this is my opinion, and that's fine. But make sure you let people know that it's your opinion and not based upon fact. Or if you're saying, somebody's a mole, okay, why do you think that way? Give sources. Don't just keep repeating yourself. Again, that's what the left does. That's Saul Alinsky's rules of radicals. That's not getting to the truth. That is just hoping that you repeat yourself long enough that you get the attention and people will start believing it. So to me, that has nothing to do with truth. Um, some of the other people that are globalists in the Trump administration, Rick Perry. I don't know if a lot of people know, Rick Perry is a globalist. Nobody really seemed to have too much of a problem that Rick Perry was there. The Commerce Secretary, Wilbur Ross, he is also a globalist. So, we also have Mnuchin and Scaramouche or whatever his name is. Those are globalists as well. So again, there are a lot of people who are there. Yeah, didn't know that Rick Perry is a globalist, that are on the administration. And we don't like to hear that. Nobody likes that. I don't want globalists because we're looking at the new world order. But you also have to remember that this is where it's going. It really is. Are you on YouTube? Yes. I am on YouTube. Always going to be on YouTube Live because right now the chat's going well. Everything's working. Nothing. Periscope is always kicking people out, bringing them back in. Periscope Live, that's not happening. So you can come over there and chat away with people that are in there. Another thing that's been coming up uh, is whether or not whether Syria is the one with the chemical weapons. Was it somebody else? I know there's been a lot of people who are saying, well, I don't really think that it was Syria. Yeah, weaponized truth. Trump is the boss. They take direction from him, and people need to chill. Yeah, I think people do need to chill a little. Yeah, yesterday with Periscope, I when I first went on, it froze immediately. So I don't know. Um, YouTube, only the cool kids are in YouTube. That's what Mike says. Yes. So with Syria, you have to look at a couple things. I've been watching different people who are Christians and Israelis talking Israel. They think that Syria did it. And why do they think that? Because they have seen Syria do that about 40 times before. They have used chemical weapons, Assad has, on his people many times before. They're looking at it as that it's one more time. And yeah, Johnny, you can come over to YouTube if you want the cool kids. Uh, so okay, that's the Israelis' opinion that this was Syria. Other people are saying, the Republicans, I heard that this morning, Republicans are saying that they kind of think that it was an accident, that they went to blow up some ammunition type thing that they were hoping that, to accomplish the same thing, perhaps, and that those chemicals were there and they didn't realize that they were there. I don't know if that's true or not. And other people are saying, well, why all of a sudden? Why is this now? And there's been talk about, well, you know, uh, John McCain went back to Syria. John McCain's got something to do with this. Again, you can talk about the facts. You can talk about the fact that John McCain went to Syria. That's a fact. And you can talk about that a couple of weeks after, here comes the chemical weapons attack. That's a fact. Now, who did it? We know that the Russians and the Syrians were flying the planes connected to this. Okay, that's what we know. Was it intentional? We don't know that for sure. What we can say is that this has happened a lot of times before. Yeah, I mean, again, it doesn't look good for Syria, in my opinion. It looks pretty bad. It looks like that this could very much have been their intentions to do this. Why would they do that? To get rid of the rebels. He doesn't. He wants to remain in power, and so that could be one reason that they did it. Assad did not do it. McCain, Bush, Clinton, Cheney, Graham, all in on it, running guns and sarin gas to ISIS to go against Assad for Xi Jinping. Well, Crystal, there again, give me the source. I mean, that I know that's probably your opinion, but you didn't say it that way. That it was your opinion. So, that's how rumors get started. You may very well be right, but I think that when we say it, we have to say this is what we believe, this is what we've found, something like that, because otherwise, people pick up on that and they just run with it. Was the goal to eliminate the chemical weapons plant? You know, again, there are many people, especially hi Joey, many people that are in the Middle East and people that hear talk about it. They feel that the weapons of mass destruction that we didn't find in Iraq, the reason we didn't find them is because they're in Damascus. So I think there has to be a lot of weapons, a lot of chemical weapons and everything else there. Maybe they were trying to blow that up. I don't know. So, again, we have to say, factually, this is what we know. And you can say, this is my opinion. But you can't just, come out and say it's this, 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 and this, because that's misleading to people. And I know people pick up on that, and then they go from one scope to the next. And you're welcome, Yeshua. They go from one scope to the next, and then everybody thinks, oh my gosh, this is the truth, and then they go and spread it. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that person who does that. It seems like with all the threats from Korea, China, there's really no reason to go into a war that really doesn't affect us. It's not like he gassed New York. Well, I guess you could say that, but if you're the people who are living in Syria and your children were killed by the gas, I think you have probably a different opinion by that. Could it be the chemical weapons they never found? Yeah, I think so, Johnny. I mean, as I said, a lot of people believe that they're there in Damascus. Syrian videos saying Assad not responsible, Al Qaeda and ISIS are responsible, and they blame Obama for arming Al Qaeda. Yeah, and I've seen that too. And here's the thing, Tillerson came out and said that he believes that it was Syria who did it. So now again, you have all those opinions and all the factual information. You have to decide what you believe. Let's see, why they let Stevens die. He found out that we all know that they were running guns. We all know we were arming the rebels. We've talked about that before. We all know that. Not only were we arming rebels, but we were killing Christians. The rebels were killing Christians that we armed. So, yeah, that we all know that. That came out. There was an archbishop who made that statement that the rebels were killing Christians with our arms. Yes. So, again, if you have Tillerson who's coming out and saying that he feels that it was Syria who carried this out and used chemical weapons on his own people, I'm hoping that they have a little bit more information than we do, that they've gotten some more classified secret information that the American public has. It doesn't mean that we trust them 100%. Again, we take all the facts and all the information that we know, and we put that all together. And we can come up with an opinion. We can come up with, using factual information in our opinion. But we have to separate fact from fiction. We have to separate our facts from our opinions, and it behooves us, to tell people these are the facts as I know them, and here is what I think based upon those facts. So I think if you do that, you're never going to go wrong. But if you just go out there and say it's A, B, and C, and you don't have anything to back that up, then somewhere along the line, somebody is going to accuse you of spreading false fake news. All right, and you don't want to be like the left. We definitely need to protect the Christians. That's for sure. I'm on board with that. Yeah. I mean, there are Christians that are caught up in all of this. And so, again, I think as we wait and see kind of what information is coming out, do we know what Russia is going to do? Russia, I know at this point, I don't think Russia's, as you would expect them, I think Russia is saying that it wasn't Syria and it wasn't Russia. So, again, who do you believe? You have to kind of look at all and see what you got. There are people who are saying that the planes were Russian and Syrian planes that did this. So why was Russia involved? Was Russia involved? I don't know. It's not looking good, but again, I don't have the evidence that other people have that are like Tillerson that you would expect would have. I was doing split screen on my phone with both YouTube and Periscope. YouTube has been flawless. Yep, Periscope connection in and out. Absolutely, and that's what I like about YouTube Live, because it is flawless. I mean, so far it has been really good. They don't kick you off. I mean, maybe the notifications come a little bit late. I would have to say that, but if you know I'm on every day at 11 o'clock, you can't go wrong, right? 11 o'clock Eastern every day. You're not going to miss it. Do you think? Do I think Russia wants to go to war? I think if again, if you're a Christian, you're looking at all of this and what's happening in the Middle East as what is being carried out in the end days. There is going to be a time, Isaiah 17, when Damascus becomes a ruinous heap. And are we getting closer to that? Maybe so. Jay Sekulow, Huey, on Periscope, they did actually yesterday have, for the first time I've ever seen it, they had a little bit of issues on Periscope. I was shocked because normally they don't, but they did yesterday. Even in 2013 attacks, Syria used more strict measures for rescue workers than what I saw recently. Of course, it could be the narrative that was pushed. Yeah. I mean, again, let's see. I was on Blog Talk Radio and they cut my feed twice because talking about unbelievable Jerry Brown. I talk about Jerry Brown all the time. I'm Jerry Brown's like least favorite fan, I think. If you believe what Putin says, he honestly doesn't seem like he just wants war. Maybe a naive. People are talking about now the war now. Hi, how are you? Good morning. They're talking about actually perhaps being more afraid of North Korea right now. Not afraid in the sense of oh, we're scared, but in the sense of what are we going to do? Are we going to have to go to war with North Korea? Because I've heard talk of people saying that this guy who heads North Korea is crazy, and that he's been talking about he's going to attack America, and they believe that he possibly will. And yeah, Armageddon, absolutely, Johnny. I mean, we're headed that way. It's just a matter of how soon do we get there, So, uh, Twitter allows split screen. Oh, that's cool. Are you still live? Yes, Carmen, still live. I'm not. You may have to refresh or something. The YouTube live is going well. So he killed two relatives. Yeah, he is crazy. So I guess the talk now is. Um, Good morning. The talk now is: do we wait, or do we go and make an initial strike over there? Yeah, I mean they are weaponized truth. They are going to make a missile that is going to reach us, and so it's a matter of do we go in there and take out that now or not. I've heard people say that we can do that very easily. They don't have the weaponry that we have, and that we could do that very easily. Korea is a wild card. I mean, and those people, the way they live in North Korea, I don't know if you've ever seen any documentaries on that. It's horrible conditions. They live in darkness most of the time. They have very little food. I mean, you talk about what a dictator looks like. It couldn't be more egregious. And I know yeah, I know, Carmen. That's what I was saying. Just refresh it when that happens because uh, the YouTube live has been going really well. Uh, I think Trump is meeting with the Xi, the head of China. I think it's today. It's going to be a short visit. I guess it's going to be less than 24 hours. And that he's supposed to go to Mar-a-Lago, I believe, but I'm not sure. Yeah. So, again, we have to keep our eye on the Middle East. It's very important to know what's going on. And I think it even tells us more about what's going on in the United States when we do keep our eyes and ears on the Middle East. Especially a lot of times we hear nothing about what's going on in the Middle East unless we go looking for it. And I don't know why that is. Uh, you know, in the past, when things were happening in the Middle East, we would hear about them. And it was really quiet under Obama, and it's still relatively quiet under President Trump. And I don't know if that's just because, I really don't know what that reason is. Maybe enough things aren't happening that they feel is important, or they don't want to let us know everything of what they're going to do, and so therefore they don't mention it all that much. I think I'm with you, Carmen. That a daughter will always choose her daddy. That's fact, right? Can't can't blame North Korea because we will destroy South Korea. Somebody was saying that, or can't nuke North Korea because we'll be destroying South Korea too. Yeah. Again, if you've ever watched any documentary on North Korea, I don't even know how those people can live. They really have to at all times basically worship their leader because they're under the threat of death, and anybody that goes against their leader is always put to death. But and a lot of people, I mean, if you're born and raised in an environment, a lot of people truly believe that that's what they should do, that they should worship the guy, they do whatever he says, and they don't have a lot to compare it to as to, well, is this worse than anybody else's? I mean, so we have to kind of look at that way. What does anybody think? Do you think that it would behoove us to go in there? Let's take two things. First, do you think going into Syria and I don't know what, bombing Syria would be a good thing? Do you think going into North Korea and striking them would be a good thing? Yes. And weaponized truth, the paradox is the more we go to war, the more we push a migrant crisis and speed along to technocratic dictatorship. No, surgical strike. Okay. Take out Assad. North Korea is tricky. No, no, stay out of Syria. Yeah. And the thing about Syria, remember, it was Obama who started all of this about Syria and taking out Assad. Are we being pushed into taking out Assad to complete what Obama wanted? And I know that people are saying, well, perhaps this whole thing is part of the deep state and they're causing all this to happen. And again, I don't know where the truth lies anymore in that regard, but I know factually what we've seen. Yeah, I know weaponized truth. If we don't do anything, it's bad. If we do something, it's bad. We're really between a rock and a hard place with, especially North Korea. Do we sit there and wait, and what that could mean our own destruction? So that's a tough one, and I really do think at this point that President Trump could be thinking about it, his administration, about what we should do. They're scared of him, and they think they would want out if they would get a choice. Yeah, I think so too, Johnny. I mean, even if that's the only thing you knew, you've got to know how you feel emotionally and physically by being ruled by a dictator who is somebody that you've probably seen kill other people right in front of you. I would, no doubt. Kim is a little man with a big mouth. Bomb the crap out of them. Yeah. Uh, and let's see, Kim Young Nam is a ballistic idiot himself. If possible, we should go into North Korea and stop them in their tracks. And Monique, we may very well have to. We may have no choice on that. Fat kid. Oh, weaponized truth. Support Israel, our only friend. Yes. Support Israel. And there was another thing that came out too. I don't know if you heard about this, but uh, Israel, because of the Golan Heights, there's more natural gas and oil there that would last. I mean, I'm going to say the word forever. Of course, nothing's forever, but would last forever. That's how much there is there. And right now, Israel has decided, has a deal with Italy that they're going to run, like this pipeline, if you will, over to Italy and supply them with natural gas and oil. Now, that's bad for Russia because Russia is the one that supplies with all of the natural gas and oil. So what's going to happen there? What's going to happen when Israel keeps doing that? Yeah, Monique, you may be right. Yeah, they may have no choice but to go in North Korea because of what they're doing. But again, if you see Israel is going to start taking over what Russia needs, and that's how Russia makes their money, then what do you think Russia is going to do? If you look at end times, you look at Revelation, Russia is going to be a part of who goes in and attacks Israel. And so, it's being set up. And people talk about the hook. The Bible talks about what is going to be the hook that gets people to go into Israel to try and destroy Israel. And that the hook, they're thinking, is the Golan Heights. And why wouldn't it be? I mean, if you have this gold mine sitting there with all of this natural gas and oil, it would make sense that that's what people are going to do. And that's what they're going to use. Played out before our eyes, now is a day for salvation. Absolutely. Absolutely. No doubt there. Yeah, Israel's secular government. Um, Israel made a missile defense system called David Sling. Yes, you can't make this crap up. Yeah. Well, and Israel needs that. Assassination of Assad and Kim Jong. Perhaps that's, and if let's say that we assassinate Assad, then what? Have we been successful in the other places that we've taken people out? We have so destabilized the Middle East. Hi, Sherry. Good morning. So, do we want to take on another country? Do we want to, go in there? And we have, don't forget, Russia and Iran want Syria, want Assad in power in Syria. So what happens if we go in there and we take out Assad? Now do we go after Russia? Now do we go after Iran? it's right, Yeshua. We take out one and 10 more pop up. It's true. So what are we doing? And now I'm all for let's destroy ISIS. Our only hope is salvation. That's absolutely true. Democracy won't work. No, it doesn't. Now look what is happening in nothing resolved. Yeah, Gaddafi with Gaddafi. Yeah, I mean basically you're just creating problems. You're going in. You're destabilizing the area and creating more problems. Now I think a lot of people are dependent upon waiting to see what the UN does with Syria. Frankly, I wouldn't hold my breath. The UN is so ineffective. I know Nikki Haley came out and had a big talk about, well, we can't have this. Shame on you. That type of thing. But okay, we know that. So what are we going to do about it? That's more important to figure out. Are we going to sanction Syria? That seems to be what the UN does. We just bring a lot of sanctions. So are we going to continue to do that practice? Is it going to make any difference? Have we seen this so many times with Assad that we should do something different? I mean, I don't know. I heard Amir Sarfati, who is a person who used to be in the Israeli army, who is now a speaker. He has Behold Israel. You probably have heard of him. But, are we going to... I forgot what I was going to say. Something popped up on my screen. I got so distracted. Can anybody remind me what I was talking about? Man, I really got off my subject there. I was seeing that there was some breaking news, and I don't know it's accurate, just saying that they're voting to postpone the election or the confirmation of Gorsuch until April 24th. Delay, delay, delay. Yes, thank you. Should we do the whole sanction thing again? But again, as I was saying with Sarfati, that he's seen so many times that they have used chemical weapons against their people. Do we just keep allowing this to happen and say let's do sanctions? I mean, I don't know. Nobody wants to go to war. I know. So, what are we going to do? Sounds bad, but let them kill each other. Ugh. I don't know. It's like, what do you do, when you're in that position and you're the president of the United States, you've seen chemical weapons used against children. You've watched babies die. Do you just say, shame on you, you shouldn't do that, don't do it again, here are the sanctions? Or do you go in and take things out? I don't know. I think one of the things I was going to say before is that I believe in, taking ISIS out. That I thought that's why we went there in the first place to Syria. That ISIS was a problem. That maybe ISIS was a problem, to us. So okay, let's take ISIS out. Why has our focus changed so much? That's what we should do. Well, I mean, mighty blessed one. Of course, John Kerry lied. Do you expect it? John Kerry lied to us for 8 years? Set up safe zones and leave. Well, that's the thing. The Syrian people. We could have them go someplace else. I'm not sure where they would go. Not here, but there are other countries that would take them. And perhaps that's what we should do. But Assad is crazy. I mean, he is, and I see Periscope is sort of starting to freeze there, and I'm surprised it lasts this long. Every day Periscope has an issue, and every day people are kicked off. That's why people should come over to YouTube. It's so much better. And again, officially, the Senate did block Gorsuch confirmation. So now we're going to have to do the nuclear option. I mean, why not? Why shouldn't we? Um, if that's the way they want to play it, and obviously it is the way they want to play it, they've always wanted to do that, and we knew from the beginning, so no surprise. Um, we should go ahead and just say, okay, well, we tried. It's going to be the first time in history. Yeah, well, they did, yes. It's going to be the first time in history that that's ever happened. Trying to get Periscope back. Hi, Periscope. See, I told you if you go. No, I didn't get a call. This is my iPad. So there's no call on an iPad. That's just Periscope. Periscope does this every single day. That's why I encourage everyone to go over to YouTube, to sign up, subscribe on my YouTube page so that this won't continue to happen. It doesn't happen on YouTube. It happens on Periscope every single day. And see, Robin, I'm looking at the screen. It's not flickering for me at all. So it's YouTube. Yeah, I know, Jerry. It has its downside in that way. But if people are chatting over here and you just have to put in a person's name. I wish more Periscopers would move to YouTube. I do too, Heather. I really do. It's a shame not to, because again, this happens every single day. I report it. They say, "Oh gosh, so sorry," and and yet it continues every single day. So I'm not sure why you wouldn't come over to YouTube. But so anyway, can't comment on YouTube though. Why, Crystal? Everybody else is commenting on YouTube. If you're in the live chat, all you have to do is sign in and you can get in the live chat and you could be commenting away. These people are they're commenting away. They've been commenting the whole time. So I don't know why you can't, but I think it's probably because you're not logged in. Watch Under the Sun on Netflix. Very good documentary on, yes, North Korea. North Korea thought they were controlling content, but they were able to smuggle out the footage on them scripted. Yes, I think I've probably seen that documentary. It was horrendous. You don't seem to have much ATM, though. I don't know what that means. I know you're joking, but I don't know what that means. Oh, I mean the ones that I watch. Oh, but if I start video chats, I will let you know. Okay. So, yeah, YouTube doesn't have any problems. Please come over to YouTube, subscribe at Susan Knowles, and click on the little bell so you get a notification every time. Change to Google sign in for chat. Took me a long time to recall my You can always ask for a new password. Yes. I know Trump supporters come back, and that's what happens. But every day Periscope does that so that so that people will go away, and so that we can't have these conversations. And we're talking about North Korea, so maybe that's offensive to someone. I don't know. I'm sure there's some reason. Also, just in the last couple of minutes that we have, I know that John Kelly, Homeland Security Secretary, has basically said before Congress, I couldn't find chat on YouTube either, on iPad signed in. Yeah, I think you just have to, you have to sign in. I don't know why you can't see the live chat if you sign in. Not sure why. Maybe you have to be on PC. I don't know if everybody's on the PC. I'm chatting. Maybe so. The old talk it out slot. Yes. It's me, Monique. Hi. I got YouTube on my laptop and can make comments here, but not on my iPhone. Okay. So probably you just have to be on an iPhone. Carmen, the Isaiah 17 is the ruinous heap of Damascus that the Bible says is going to happen. Oh, okay. Weaponized Truth is on his phone and he's chatting away. So I have no idea why people can't chat that are on their phones or they're having difficulties. I think you just have to maybe play around with it and see Android. I don't know. Oh yeah, he's on an Android. That's why I like Periscope. Yeah, I. That's why I'm back on Periscope, just for people who who can't possibly get off Periscope, so that we don't lose you. But anyway, back what I was going to say about John Kelly. He is saying now that the entire border will not be secured by a wall. So the wall that we've been promised won't all be a wall. And he is saying that it'll be a combination of fences, electronics, towers, wall structures, that type of thing, and that President Trump backs him on that and said that he wanted him to do anything that makes sense. So I mean, to me that makes sense. I would like a wall stretched all the way. I mean, that would be great. Uh, but I would like to see as much of the wall as possible. Not a wall that you could hand things through, but a wall that you totally blocking people off. I don't want people coming in here any more than are already here to harm us. So it looks like our time is up. Everybody, if you would please retweet the first Periscope, please retweet the YouTube. Anybody that's even if you weren't in YouTube, please retweet YouTube. Can I stay on for another hour? I know there's so much to cover. There really is. One of the things I have to do, I've got to tape my other show, so I've got to do that and get that out. And so I would, but there are other stations that carry my show tonight, and so I'm behind, and I've got to get that taped. But anyway, yeah, I mean, there's always more. I, Thank you, Weaponized Truth. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate all that you coming in here every day. Again, I'm trying to give you the truth. I'm trying to give you the truth without the hype. I want to help you in assessing what that truth is. Thank you, Michelle. I really appreciate it. You have a great day as well. Thank you, Susan. I want to give you the truth rather than the hype, and so hopefully that's what you want. And yes, I am Jerry, trying to help you dissect the information. Thank you, Robin. I appreciate it. You guys have a great day. And if you will, like I said, retweet everything. When my Knowles on the News comes out a little later today, if the audio, if you would please retweet that, that would be great. And I will see you again tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Weaponize. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Susan. Thank you. Have you connected to. I'm in a 48-inch screen TV. Oh my gosh. That's great. Have a great day too, Heather. I'll see you guys later. You're the best. Talk to you soon. Bye. Thank you guys. And I'm taking you off the last here. You have a great day and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.